Hello. I'm going to read to you Big Jim, Little Jim by John Cunliffe. Big Jim, Little Jim. There are two Jims in our street, Big Jim and Little Jim. Big Jim is Little Jim's granddad, and you never saw such a good pair of friends. They were always together. And on sunny days, old Jim would sit out in the front garden in his big chair, and little Jim would bring him a cup of tea, then sit and read the paper with him. On wet days, they would be in the back, where the big railway layout was, running goods trains and passenger trains, shunting trucks or building new lines. The time flew by. One day, Big Jim took badly. It was his back. Oh, how it hurt him. He didn't want to hear what was in the paper. He didn't even want to run the trains. How sad little Jim was to see his granddad so poorly. Won't you see the doctor, Granddad? Said little Jim, pleading with him. He knew what a devil his granddad was when it came to doctors. He wouldn't have anything to do with them. I'm not having any doctors messing about with me, said Big Jim, but the pain got worse. You'll have to have the doctor, said little Jim, almost in tears. If anybody can persuade him, said Gran, then young Jim's the one. But he wasn't having much luck. At last the pain was so bad the old man gave in. He said the doctor could come. But I don't promise to take any notice of him, he said. The doctor came on Tuesday morning and had a good look at Big Jim's back. Now, Mr. Jackson, said the young doctor, I'll give you some tablets. They'll help to ease the pain, but I'm afraid you'll have to go into hospital for a few weeks. As soon as I can get you a bed. Nonsense, said Big Jim. I'm not going into hospital having folks messing me about. And that was that. He wouldn't budge. Very stubborn. Then little Jim took badly. He had a pain in his side. My goodness, it did hurt. Oh, my goodness. Oh, look, he's in so much pain. The doctor came on Friday morning. He said, Now, young man, here's something to stop it hurting, but I'm afraid you're going to need an operation to get it better. You'll have to miss your football for a few weeks. Oh, no. And what do you think little Jim said? I'm not going in any hospital, just like his granddad, his mum said. Now then, now, Jim. But he wouldn't budge. Just tell him, said Gran. There'll be a fuss. I don't want a fuss. Then Gran had a brilliant idea. Leave it to me, she said. She put her coat on and went up the street to see little Jim, because he needed to go to hospital, but I think he was a little bit scared like Granddad. Sometimes scary things make you, no, I don't want to go, don't they? It can be scary when you've never been before to a place. Now then, she said, there's only one way we can get your Granddad to go into hospital. Oh, I wish he would, said little Jim. He will if... What? If you go. All right then, Gran, I'll go. And no fuss, no fuss. Good lad. Then she came back and went up to Granddad's room. Now then, she said, there's only one way we can get little Jim to go into hospital. Oh, I wish we would. I wish he would, said Big Jim. He will if... What? If you go. All right then, I'll go. And no fuss, no fuss. Good lad. They did it for each other. A month later, they were back in the garden with the paper, and their friends stopped to ask them what it was like being in hospital. It was great, said little Jim, and it's grand to feel so much better, said Big Jim. I'm glad we went. Then little Jim read him the football page. Sometimes we need to go to hospital. So don't be afraid if it's ever you that has to go, and know that Granny loves you. Mwah.